Good morning, and welcome to episode 4 of what have I called this thing? Morning coffee. Pretty bad when you've forgotten the name of your own podcast. Anyways, it's great to be here with you, even though I don't know exactly who you are, but I've seen a few people that have watched some of the podcasts. I got a few likes, which is nice. I was honestly thinking, oh, if I don't get any likes, I think I'll bail. There's no point. But I kind of enjoy it. I got my coffee out here. This is my relaxing period of the time in the morning, just to kind of settle in. I've got a little journal here. Don't want you to read it. It's my personal journal. But I'm using it to track my goals. I was working with my friend Mike DeLuca starting about 3 years ago. And he had a really cool system of journaling and using this journaling system to achieve your goals. And to be honest, I've always struggled to achieve my goals. It's not that I haven't achieved anything. I became a paramedic and I raised a family, and I guess I've done okay. But I think I'm someone who dreams big. So sometimes it seems like I felt like I really wasn't getting traction, and I was interested in what is that process by which a person gets traction and really begins to achieve their goals. So through Mike's system, what I learned was that one of the things I was not doing very well was taking a step-by-step approach and recognizing that a lot is accomplished when you do a little bit each day. I mean, this is really basic for a lot of people. I just I had a pretty undisciplined life, and I never really was clear on that lesson. So by using this journal, I would say on a good day I was achieving maybe 30% of my goals. But I did it for at least 2 years straight. And I made probably bigger strides than maybe any other time in my life. University might have been somewhat equivalent, but even that, when I struggled at university because I was so undisciplined, I had terrible procrastination habits. Oh, it was brutal. I remember being so far behind. I treated university like it was high school, which was a big mistake. It's like you cannot. I kind of was able to pull this off. I was mentioning that I used some memory techniques, but trying to study for a midterm that you've hardly looked at the material and crush all that into your brain in a night or two, I would do that. I would cram for high school exams all the time. And what I noticed is at university, it really is not a good system. Not a good. It's it's funny how something will work for you for a while, and then there's some shift, and all of a sudden it does not work anymore. And that's what it was like. So so I remember my friends going out to a party, and they're like, "Mark, come with us," right? And I was like, "I can't. I have to study." They're like, "Oh, no, you'll be fine." I'm like, "No, I will not be fine. If I don't study, I'm completely screwed." They'd been studying for 3 weeks, I'm studying for a day or two. So, they would go out to the party, and they'd come back, And I was still sitting there. Meanwhile, I'd watched a baseball game and twiddled my thumbs, and man, my procrastination was brutal. So, needless to say, I kind of had mixed results at university. I went through 1 year at University of Guelph, and I was like, I had a couple of subjects that kind of fell through the floor, and others that I did pretty good in. But I was just like, I can't do another year of this. I'm losing my mind here. It's awful. So I bailed, and I think I did some more traveling, and eventually I got into the ambulance program. 1 year of intensive work. It's like, oh yeah, I can handle that. Get to drive an ambulance with some lights and sirens. This sounds like fun. See a bit of life, a different angle. It's something you don't normally see. So, yeah, I mean, and I think there are those jobs and careers that maybe appeal to people that struggle with discipline. Like cab driver is a good example. Like, I'm not sure what it's like today, but I've known cab drivers, and like a lot of them were gamblers, and they would just kind of live day to day, and when the money's gone, they just head out and drive cab for 48 hours straight and make some money again. But I've heard that the whole lay of the land for cab drivers really changed, and it became a very difficult, relatively unsustainable business, model. So maybe others have discovered the importance of discipline, and hopefully they haven't taken as long as I have to sort that out. I finally do appreciate that a disciplined approach to life is the way to go, and really respect that principle. Like without that, I don't know. Without that recognition that doing a little bit every day, even if you don't feel like you're accomplishing great things, is super important. So, yeah, I mean, I saw over a period of 2 years where I made some real progress. Finally, things were really beginning to change and shift. I got my house rented out. I started making getting a little bit of cash flow finally. And so I've developed a little system using everything that I know about goal achievement. And what I'm doing is I'm using myself as the guinea pig for that system to see how effective it is. And I'm trying to get my daughter on board as well, and see if between the two of us we can kind of troubleshoot it, tweak it, and really find and develop a personalized, and I mean works for me, works for her, and hopefully works for others, a personalized goal achievement system that is simple, and for even the most undisciplined people, they can achieve success with this system. I don't know how many times I started getting excited about my goals, kind of like New Year's resolutions. I want to say resolutions, where you're okay, this is what I'm going to accomplish this year. You've completely forgotten about it in 2 weeks. Well, I'd get a journal. I've always been a big journaler. I like journaling. It's a great approach to record your life and your thoughts, and actually to solve issues. If you write about whatever's going on, I found like 90%, maybe more percent of the time, you end up with answers. It's amazing what comes out just by journaling about these things. It's like having a really good friend who actually listens to you and helps you come up with your own answers. anyways, yeah, so a journaling system, in the hands of someone who is really undisciplined, half the time they lose their journal. They don't have any pens in the house. Journal's falling behind the bed. And that's that. And they're often doing the same thing they've been doing, their ineffective approach to living. So I think the bottom line is we can all take another step. Now, just to kind of prime myself for this chat here, I don't know if it's a chat because I'm doing all the talking, but anyways, I kind of try to act as though we're chatting. And I listened to, just to prime myself for this vlog, this podcast, I listened to Earl Nightingale's The Strangest Secret. And that is one of the most powerful, beautifully packaged expressions of some very powerful concepts in how to achieve success in our lives and how to achieve our goals and how to set goals. And he pulls this off. He did this little lecture in 1957, I think it was. So I found it on YouTube, and it's a brilliant little video because what they've done is they've taken his talk and they've added, the guy that does the drawings on kind of a erasable board and is just flying along and drawing all these pictures as the person's talking about it. Anyway, really nicely done. Very cool video. And I think they go over some of the most important concepts about, really, I guess you could say, the power of belief and holding an ideal in your mind on a regular basis with a strong level of commitment to achieving whatever it is, regardless of the short-term results. So I guess I'm going to try to rework this podcast a little bit towards sharing concepts, ideas, successes, failures around manifestation. I'm hoping it will appeal to people who are looking to take another step in their life. And maybe you're struggling a little bit. And so this would be a journey where you can come with me as I struggle through my steps. What I'm trying to achieve right now, I'm starting a small business. I'm starting a business. Maybe it won't be small for long. I don't know. I'm starting a business of sales of blinds and shutters, and installing them in the Kawartha Lakes area, which is the region I live in. And I've never had a small business before. I've always thought it was a great idea. Look, I've had some great employers over the years. I loved working at a bike shop when I was in my late teens and early 20s. Great guy, Michael Moore, same name as the filmmaker, but fantastic guy. God, we had a blast fixing bikes, and we laughed all day long. And we even got a little bit of work done. I think he made some money. And but I think there's something really powerful in coming up with an idea of a business that you would enjoy doing, and to apply manifestation principles and goal achievement methodology to, so it's a perfect opportunity to see how those principles work. So now my friend Steve said, Mark, you need to keep your talks to under 15 minutes. Like you're losing me after about 15 minutes. He goes, it's nothing personal. It's like, nobody's attention goes much beyond that. So I'm just hitting the 15-minute mark. I'll say goodbye. Thank you for joining me for another episode of Morning Coffee. And I hope you're enjoying it half as much as I'm enjoying doing it. And I will see you for the next episode soon. Bye.